was ushered in by many across the world, with the expectation that it would bring needed relief and succor to peoples ravaged by the devastations of the pandemic in the preceding year. However, 2021 brought more than hope, as manifested by occurrences in the course of the year. January 3rd, a former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos from 2000 to 2007, Oyewusi Bidakwa-Obe, died of COVID-19 at the age of 71. On January the 6th, supporters of the then outgoing US President Donald Trump attacked the United States Capitol, disrupting the certification of the 2020 presidential election and enforcing Congress to evacuate. 5 people died during the riot, including a police officer and a woman who was shot and killed inside the Capitol building. January 17, a former Minister of Commerce and Industry between 2010 and 2011, Jubril Martins-Kuye, passed away at the age of 78. On January 20, Joe Biden was inaugurated as the 46th President of the United States. The 78-year-old veteran Democrat leader took the oath of office at the west front of the Capitol, the traditional location for presidential inaugural ceremonies, where the deadly violence took place just 2 weeks before. Kamala Harris also took the oath as the first female vice president of the country. On January 26, Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari replaced the country's top military commanders as Leo Irabo was named the Chief of Defense Staff, while Ibrahim Atairu became Commander of the Army, AZ Gambo became Commander of the Navy, and I.O. Amao became Commander of the Air Force. On January 29, a Dutch appeal court ordered Shell Oil in Nigeria to pay compensations to Nigerian villagers for oil spills that brought death, illness, and destruction to Nigerian farmers and communities. The verdict came after 13 years of legal tussle between Shell, environmentalists, and the affected communities. On February 1, a coup d'etat in Myanmar removed Aung San Suu Kyi from power and restored military rule, leading to widespread demonstrations across the country. On February 5, Nigeria's former finance minister, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, became the first woman and the first African to head the World Trade Organization (WTO), following the withdrawal of South Korean Trade Minister. February 9, an ex-international and retired footballer who played for the defunct Abiola Babes, Yisa Shofoluwe, died from COVID-19 complications at the age of 53. February 11, the first civilian governor of Lagos State from 1979 to 1983 and former Minister of Works between 1993 and 1998, Lateef Jakande, passed on. Alhaji Jakande, who was also a veteran journalist, died at the age of 91. February 12, the Yoruba and Hausa communities in Shasha Market in Ibadan clashed, resulting in death of some residents, destruction of property, and displacement of people in the area.
Tension took over the atmosphere, with fear boldly written on the faces of apprehensive traders that scampered for safety as the mayhem dominated the Shasha community Ibadan, following a fracas that broke out as a result of reprisal attack that ensued between occupants of Shasha Market community. What exactly transpired? Meanwhile, Some other sources claim that the victim was a man who only acted as an intermediary between those in arguments. BCOS News visited the hospital in the area where the victim was reportedly taken to after the fight. Although security men, including the police and men of the Nigerian army, were seen at the scene of the incident, residents called for improved security in the area.
On February 17, one student was killed while 41 people, including 27 students, 3 teachers and family members were kidnapped by bandits at Government Science College in Kagara, Niger State. The hostages were later freed on February 27. On February 26, 300 students of Government Girls Secondary School, Jangebe Zamfara, were abducted by unknown gunmen. March. On the 1st of March, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy was sentenced to 3 years in jail for corruption after being found guilty of trying to offer a job to a magistrate in return for information about a criminal inquiry into his political party in 2014. 2 years of the jail term was suspended. 66-year-old Sarkozy is the first former French president to get a custodial sentence. On March 2, about 4 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine arrived in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. It was the third and largest delivery to be made by the Global COVAX initiative, which was created to ensure that low and middle income countries have fair access to doses. March 3. A renowned actor and broadcaster who worked with the Nigerian Television Authority, Sadiq Daba, died of cancer. He was aged 69. On March 6, President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo received jabs of the COVID-19 vaccines at the State House, Abuja. The president's chief physician, Suhaib Rafidadi, administered the vaccine on the president. The vice president was also vaccinated by his physician, Nicolas Odiferin, immediately after the president received his dose. On March 8, Joan Laporta was elected Barcelona president for the second time. The 58-year-old Laporta won with more than 54% of votes and will hold the role until 2026. His closest rival, Victor Font, recorded just short of 30% of votes, while Tony Frexer earned just over 8%. On March 11, about 30 students were kidnapped from the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization in Mando, Kaduna, by a large group of armed bandits. The State Commissioner for International Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, also disclosed that several staff of the school were kidnapped as well, adding that the military engaged the attackers and were able to bring 180 staff and students to safety. On March 12, Dr. Patrice Motsepe from South Africa was elected the 7th CAF president unopposed at the 43rd CAF General Assembly in Rabat. Motsepe is the 7th person to occupy the position of CAF presidency. On March 14, Nigerian music stars Burna Boy and Wizkid won their first ever Grammy Awards at the 63rd edition. Burna Boy bagged the much-coveted Grammy Award in the Best Global Album category for his Twice as Tall album, while Wizkid won a Grammy for the Best Music Video for his role in Beyoncé's 2019 hit song, Brown Skin Girl. On March 17, Tanzania's President John Magufuli died of heart complications, which is believed to have resulted from COVID-19. Vice President Samia Suluhu succeeded him and became Tanzania's first female president. March 21. Citizens in the Republic of Congo re-elected President Denis Sassou Nguesso, extending his 36-year rule after his main rival, Guy Brice Parfait Kolelas, died of COVID-19. April. 3rd April. Human rights activist and politician Yinka Odumaki died of complications from COVID-19 at the age of 54. 5th April, a mass prison break occurred in Owerri, Imo State, as armed groups of militants carrying rocket-propelled grenades, machine guns, and rifles attacked the prison and released over 1,844 inmates. April 14. A one-time military governor of Oyo and Ondo State, Ahmed Usman, died at the age of 69. April 16. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde sacked the Vice-Chancellor of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, Professor M.O. Ologunde. The VC's sack was believed to be connected with the dissolution of the joint ownership of the institution by Oyo and Osun States. 20th April. About 20 students and staff of Greenfield University were kidnapped in Kasarami Village, Chikun Local Government Area, Kaduna State, Nigeria, during an attack by suspected armed bandits. 4 of the captives were killed, while the remaining ones were released several weeks later after ransom was paid to the bandits. April 20. Idris Deby, President of Chad, was killed in clashes with rebel forces after 30 years in office. The constitution was suspended and a transitional military council was established to govern the country for 18 months. May 18. Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau was reported killed in a battle between his group and a rival militant group, the Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP. Shekau was said to have blown himself up to avoid being captured. May 20. 12 of the world's richest soccer clubs announced that they had formed a breakaway European club competition named Super League. The breakaway teams included Real Madrid and Barcelona in Spain, Manchester United and Liverpool in England, and Juventus and AC Milan in Italy. But following pressures, 9 of the teams later pulled out. May 21. A Beechcraft King Air 350i belonging to the Nigerian Air Force crashed near the Kaduna International Airport, killing all 11 occupants, including the nation's Chief of Army Staff, Ibrahim Atayiru. The military aircraft was conveying the Chief of Staff to Jos when it crashed. May 29. Governor Seyi Makinde commissioned the junction improvement work and car park at Challenge and Felele Ibadan. The park is for vehicles and motorbikes to transit and also meant to ease the traffic flow at the junction. The project also included the installation of traffic lights. On May 31, the Delta variant was named and it spread to over 179 countries, including Nigeria. June. 3rd June, Governor Seyi Makinde, joined by his Benue State counterpart, Governor Samuel Ortom, commissioned the 65 kilometers Moniya-Ojutaye-Ijaye Iseyin Road. The governor, while speaking at the official commissioning ceremony held at the Akinyele Local Government Secretariat, Moniya Ibadan, maintained that the Moniya-Ijaye Iseyin Road will enhance the socio-economic development of the state and play a major role in engineering a modern Oyo state.
It was a day the much publicized Moniya-Ijaye Ojutaye Iseyin Road finally got the light at the end of the tunnel, as it was officially commissioned by Benue State Governor Dr. Samuel Ortom.
I commission this road to the glory of God and to the use of the people of the Oyo State and Nigeria. In the name of the Father, name of the Son, name of the Holy Spirit.
Dressed in Oyo State Ashoke traditional attire, Governor Makinde and his Benue State counterpart, Dr. Ortom, were warmly received by the people of Akinyele local government. While speaking at the program, Governor Makinde said the road was in deplorable state before he took the mantle of leadership of the state, and it got his attention when he received several messages from the people of the area. He assured that the road that links Ibadan, the state capital, and Okeogun, the food basket of the state, will soon become a center of business district for Oyo State and the nation at large.
Àwọn ìjọba tó lọ, they have a language tí wọ́n máa ń lò tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ kówó jẹ. Wọ́n sọ pé limited rehabilitation. So a contract was awarded for limited rehabilitation of the road for about 7 billion. Káwá tó dé wọ́n ti san 2 billion. Ẹ̀mẹ̀ tí wọ́n gbé ọ̀nà náà fún Ọládìran Associates. Wọ́n ò ṣe dé ìdí odò ní ìsàlẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ for over 2 years. Wọ́n dẹ̀ gba 2 billion. Ṣùgbọ́n mo gba 1 billion padà nínú 2 billion yẹn. Ológun ẹrú sí Èrúwà wọ́n awọ́dẹ̀ ní 10 billion limited rehabilitation. Mo lọ sí Èrúwà lánàá. Ẹ tó bá fẹ́ ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ kẹ́ wo limited rehabilitation wọn. Wọ́n san 6 billion nínú 10 billion yẹn fúnra wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n bí mo ṣe gba 1 billion padà tí mo fi omi ṣàn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ nù, màá tún gbà á ní ojú ọ̀nà tó wà ní.
In his address at the program, the Benue State Governor, Dr. Samuel Ortom, who commended Governor Makinde for fast-tracking laudable projects in the state within the first 2 years of his administration, called on federal government to follow suit and emulate the developmental programs of the PDP states.
APC federal government to rise up and give leadership. Our people are in pain. From north-east, from northwest, north-central, south-south, southeast, southwest. Everyone is faced with security challenges. And without security, there can be no meaningful development, except in PDP-controlled states.
Earlier, the State Commissioner for Public Works and Transport, Professor Dawood Sangodoyin, noted that the completion of the road has opened up critical agricultural zone of the state for integration purpose and transportation of agricultural products, as well as for further development of the local government area. The two governors later had a feel of the newly reconstructed road as they traveled from Ibadan to Ishayin. Highlight of the program was cultural display by Oyo State and Benue State cultural groups.
June, Minister of Information and Culture Alhaji Lai Mohammed announced the indefinite suspension of Twitter's operations in Nigeria, arguing that the company engages in activities that undermine Nigeria's corporate existence. This followed Twitter's removal of one of President Muhammadu Buhari's tweets and temporary suspension of his account. 5th June. Armed bandits suspected to be Fulani invaded Igogon in Ibarapa North local government area of Oyo State in the dead of the night. In the attack, 11 persons, including some of the assailants, were confirmed dead, while some vehicles and buildings, including the palace of the Ashigogon of Igogon town, were razed.
Igogon in recent times has been in the news for farmers and herder clashes, which has generated a heated controversy. But Saturday/Sunday night in Igogo, according to residents and indigents of the community, it was a rain of gunshots and burning of houses. A visit by BCOS News to Igogo shows that all is not well. The atmosphere from Ayete, Takpa and Igogo was tense as youths barricaded all junctions, resulting to self-help with business activities paralyzed and even school students turning back home about 9 a.m. At this point, the BCOS News crew was also prevented from taking shots. Most of the youths kept calling for the empowerment of local vigilantes and hunters in finding lasting solution to the incessant killings by the alleged Fulanis.
Nígbà tí wàhálà yẹn wọ̀lú nínú àwọn bíi mẹ́ta àbí mẹ́rin kan tó ṣàmú ọmọ Sẹ́ríkì wà nínú àwọn yẹn ọmọ wàkílù kan sì wà nínú ọmọ Sẹ́ríkì ọkàn wà nínú bọ́ a mọ̀ pé Sẹ́ríkì tún lè ṣerú nǹkan yẹn fún wa pẹ̀lú oore tí ìlú ti ṣe Sẹ́ríkì. àwọn ọdẹ ìbílẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ sà bọ́ ìṣòro ta nípa láwọn ọdẹ ìbílẹ̀ ni pé àwọn ọdẹ ìbílẹ̀ wà á rí owó ta fẹ́ fi ra irinṣẹ́ fún wọn.
The central palace of the Ashigangan of Igangan, Obalasisi Olawi, was completely burnt down, while many other houses were set on fire by the gunmen. Other property burnt by the gunmen include a filling station, more than 50 shops with goods worth millions of naira, while others were looted. Isiawu Koshemani was an eyewitness who was driving his loaded lorry to Ibadan about 11 p.m. on Saturday night. He recounted how he escaped being killed by the gunmen.
Nẹ́yẹ tí ó ti ṣètò gbogbo ọ̀tá tí ń rí gbogbo wọn already so àtàdó ní kíní abẹ́ kíní wọ́n kàn sọ bí Haúsá bí Fúlàní so àtàwọn wo wọn tí wọ́n sáré dèdè ọkọ̀ yẹn torí bọ́ ni wọ́n fi lé wá kó mẹ́ so bá ṣe escape àtàkọ́ dúró ní ibi àfihàn àṣà ń yọ wọn wò pé kàmọ́rú àwọn èèyàn tó jẹ́ àṣà ń wò wọ́n sá yìnbọn so wọ́n ṣe sílẹ̀kùn ọkọ̀ yẹn ní ẹgbẹ́ náà wọ́n bá tẹ petrol sí erisiti yẹn wọ́n bá ṣàánẹ́ sí sáà ń wò wọ́n mo ṣe dúró ni mo sáà ń wò wọ́n títí àwọn fìgìláńtì náà dé mo lè súnmọ́ wọn because nǹkan tí wọ́n gbé lọ́wọ́ ó lágbára.
Other victims of this criminal act also recounted their ordeals as they were rendered homeless by these gunmen.
Actually, we have been hearing a lot of the threat message from the evicted Sẹ́ríkì sons. Time without number. Even most of the sons have been sending message to me personally. Speaking with BCOS News, the lawmaker representing Ibarakwa Central and North State Constituency, Honorable Peter Ojedokun, who is also an indigene of Igangan, stated that about 11 citizens of the town lost their lives, while about 4 of the gunmen also fell during a gunfire with local hunters, in which 2 of them were recognized as followers of the then Sẹ́ríkì Fulani and Iskilu Wakili.
They are all Fulanis, we're sure of that. That they are all Fulanis. And most of those boys, as people are saying that, are claiming that they belong to Sẹ́ríkì Saliu and this, what they call this man, the one that arrested a few months ago, that they belong to them. They are people. So what we think is that they are in retaliation of sending them away of the community.
Men of the operation busts, NSCDC, Agro Rangers and Amotekun Corps were seen at strategic places in Igangan. But then, it becomes important for security operatives to rejig their operations to forestall future occurrences.
12th June. Police broke up a peaceful Democracy Day protest in Lagos by firing tear gas and firing live ammunition into the air. Other protests were held in Ibadan, Osogbo, Abeokuta, Akure, and elsewhere. 13th June. A new Israeli Prime Minister, Naftali Bennett, was sworn in after a coalition unseated long-term leader, Benjamin Netanyahu. The newly elected Prime Minister was appointed by the Knesset, Israel's parliament, in a 60-59 vote, with 1 minister abstaining. June 15. A popular televangelist and founder of Synagogue Church of All Nations, Temitope Joshua, dies at the age of 57. June 27. Leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, was arrested in an undisclosed country and extradited to Nigeria, where he is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him in response to his campaign for the Independent Republic of Biafra. June 29, Governor Seyi Makinde announced the dissolution of the Oyo State Executive Council. Those affected included the Chief of Staff and 17 commissioners. July. 1st July, the Department of State Services, DSS, raided the residence of Yoruba Nation activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday Igboho, in Soka, Ibadan, accusing him and his associates of planning a violent insurrection against the government. The DSS arrested 13 of his associates and took them to Abuja, where they were detained for several months.
The man Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, before January 2021, has always existed without anyone being concerned. But in January 2021, he gained attention when he gave an ultimatum to Fulani herdsmen in Ibarakpa to vacate the land after the killing of Dr. Aborode, and enforced same. Since this time, he has been in the news from one call to the other, all speaking against insecurity and strongly calling for the Oduduwa nation. No doubt, the activities of Sunday Igboho, which indeed included rallies and speeches, haven't gone down so well with some powers that be, and so it became a soft target. The recent and the most viral of the attacks on Sunday Igboho, which was on 1st of July 2021, will be the third within the last 6 months. The first occurred on Tuesday, January 26, 2021, at his residence at Soka Community. The second attack took place on Sunday, March 2021, when gunmen invaded the residence of his mother. The most recent attack that left 2 dead and some full soldiers arrested have been claimed by the DSS, a federal body.
On approach to the residence, the team came under heavy gun attack by 9 men suspected to be Igboho's guards. 6 of them were armed with AK-47 gun and 3 others with pump-action rifles. In the course of the exchange, 2 of Igboho's armed men were gunned down, while the rest were subdued and arrested. Only 1 operative, who was shot by the assailants on his right hand, sustained injury.
In what some members of the public believe as total injustice and unfair, the question backing this is the efforts put in so far at getting the leaders of different agitations silenced in the country. Why then has it been so difficult to stem the tide of insecurity and banditry, which has constantly festered, even as their leaders and mediators are known, and still they are untouched? But the likes of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho could be easily pinned down. With all said and done, Chinua Achebe once wrote that there was a country. What Nigerians are asking right now is, for how long will the federal government continue to clamp down on agitators in some targeted parts of the country?
7th July, Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated and his wife, Martine Moïse, injured by a group of 28 foreign mercenaries who stormed their home in the nation's capital, Port-au-Prince. Police later killed 3 and arrested 20 of the suspected assassins. 10th July, the 2021 Copa America, hosted behind closed doors by Brazil, was held and won by Argentina. The Argentinian national team's victory at the Copa America gave their captain Lionel Messi his first major trophy at the senior level. 11th July, UEFA Euro 2020, hosted by 11 different countries, was won by Italy after beating England 3-2 on penalties. 3 of England's black players, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka and Jadon Sancho, were subjected to racist abuse after they missed penalty kicks. 11th July, popular Nigerian musician and actor Olanrewaju Fasasi, popularly known as Sound Sultan, died of cancer in the US. He passed on at the age of 44. 11th July, veteran actress Rachel Oniga dies of heart disease. 12th July, bandits shoot down a military plane on the border of the northern Zamfara and Kaduna states as the country's security situation continues to deteriorate. The pilot, who had been carrying out airstrikes against armed gangs operating in the area, Flight Lieutenant Abayomi Dairo, escaped death after ejecting from the jet and running into a nearby village. July 21, Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, was arrested in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Igboho was arrested at an airport in Cotonou by Beninois security forces while trying to flee to Germany. July 21, the International Olympic Committee awarded Brisbane the right to host the 2032 Summer Olympics through an election held at the 138th session in Tokyo. Brisbane received 72 yes and 5 no votes from 77 valid votes. July 25, Tunisian President Kais Saied formally took power in the country after suspending the parliament and sacking the prime minister. The change of leadership was triggered by violent nationwide protest over government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic in that country. August 6. Governor Seyi Makinde reappointed and swore in 7 commissioners in the state and also assigned them portfolios. The reappointed commissioners are Mr. Akinola Ojo, Professor Oyelowo Oyewo SAN, Chief Bayo Lawal, Professor Dahucho Godoyin Public Works, Mr. Yoshiju Lawal, Establishment and Training, Mr. Temilolu Ashamu, Energy and Mineral Resources, and Mrs. Falzet Sani, Special Duties.
I do solemnly swear that I will be faithful.
Those were the 7 reappointed commissioners taking the oath of allegiance and oath of office administered by the Director of Cabinet Protocol, Mrs. Olajumoke Adebosuyi, at the Executive Chamber of Governor's Office, Agodi, Ibadan. While speaking at the event, the State Governor Seyi Makinde, who congratulated the new commissioners, urged them to rededicate themselves to their new positions, adding that the state will no longer be dragged back to mediocre leadership. He stressed that the new commissioners have roles to play in ensuring that good governance is sustained.
You presented your scorecard before the State House of Assembly, which was a prerequisite to your reappointment. I want you to look at that assessment and ask yourself if that was indeed your best. Are there ways you can serve the people of Oyo State better?
While assessing his government in the last 2 years, Governor Makinde said the administration has been able to fulfill much of its electioneering campaign promises and will keep working towards more innovative designs that will positively touch the lives of the people.
I was talking to a brother governor, and he said to me that first they called you audio, and now they said, well, we're seeing what you guys are doing, but then they think, are those things sustainable? Well, we've sustained payment of salaries to workers in the state and pensioners for the past over 2 years now. So they will constantly be shifting their position until they have nowhere else to shift to.
6 of the commissioners retained their former portfolios, while former Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Inclusion, Alhaja Fausat Sani, was reassigned the Special Duties portfolio. The new commissioners include Mr. Akinola Ojo, Ministry of Finance, Professor Oyelowo Oyewo, SAN, Ministry of Justice, Chief Bayo Lawal, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters. Others are Professor Dahucho Godoyin, Ministry of Public Works and Transport, Barrister Temilolu Ashamu, Ministry of Energy, and Alhaji Shiju Lawal, Ministry of Establishment and Training. In their various reactions, some of the commissioners promised to be more committed to good governance in Oyo State. Recall that the governor constituted the cabinet on August 14, 2019, and was dissolved on June 29. The program was attended by Deputy Governor, Engineer Ouvo Laniyo, the Speaker, State House of Assembly, Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, state political functionaries, PDP chieftains in the state, permanent secretaries, among others.
August 8. Summer Olympics, which began in July, was rounded off in Tokyo, Japan. The Olympic Games were originally scheduled from the 24th of July to the 9th of August 2020, but were postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. August 9. Rivers State Government secured a major court victory over the federal government in the collection of VAT in the state, as the court ruled that it had the power to collect value-added tax VAT. The state government thereafter went ahead to enact the necessary law and inaugurated agencies for the collection of the VAT in the state. August 11. Lionel Messi leaves Barcelona after spending 20 years at the Catalan club and later joins Paris Saint-Germain. Messi is Barcelona's all-time scorer with his total goals of 672. August 15. The Taliban returned to power in Afghanistan after capturing Kabul and the surrender of US-backed Afghan government. The Taliban were overthrown by US forces that invaded the country in retaliation for the terrorist attacks on Washington and New York. August 26. Suicide bombers attacked Kabul airport and killed at least 182 people, including 13 US service members. The suicide bombing took place during the evacuation of emigrants from Afghanistan. 28th August. An Edo-born musician, Sir Victor Waifo, MON, dies. 31st August. Cristiano Ronaldo joins Manchester United from Juventus. The deal is a 2-year contract with the option to extend for a further year. September. September 1st. Lagos Salami Stadium, remodeled by the Seyi Makinde administration, was commissioned by the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, in Ibadan. Amid pomp and pageantry, BCOS covered the event.
September 1, 2021 was a day filled with glitz and glamour as the remodeled Lagos Salami Stadium at Damasinga Ibadan was commissioned. Projects embarked upon by the Oyo State government under the able leadership of Engineer Oluwaseyi Abiodun Makinde. The event, which was witnessed by men and women from all walks of life irrespective of political party affiliation, was well attended, with the attendees proud of the huge feats achieved by the governor, who is always referred to as a pillar of sport, who believes in sport and infrastructural development. The ceremony, which had major entertainers on ground, kicked off with musical performances by Fuji exponents Alhaji Taye Currency and Bidemi Sax. The highlights of the commissioning were 2-in-1 as ex-Super Eagles stars featuring the likes of JJ Okocha, Victor Ekpeba, Victor Agali, Tijani Babangida, Garba Lawal, Peter Rufai, Tarebo West took on ex-Shooting Stars footballers that paraded the likes of Femi Opapumi, Yomi Adigun, Kola Ige in an entertaining game played under the floodlights, which saw Governor Seyi Makinde scoring the first goal in the newly remodeled stadium. The game ended 1-1 with Austin JJ Okocha equalizing for the ex-Eagle Stars. Immediately Immediately after this game, Ibadan Darling team 3SC took on NK Tabor Cizana from the Slovenian league in an entertaining game, fully dominated by Shooting Stars despite the heavy downpour which brought fun to the game. The game ended 4-0 in favor of the Oluyole Warriors.
The ball there, good shot and great goal. Still in possession, the shot comes in. Oh, what a goal. Fabulous. A header called for Shooting Stars. They're searching for the number 3. Here it comes. It is 3. This is the 4th goal.
Governor Seyi Makinde, while appreciating those who attended the ceremony, said having discovered talent among youths in the state, it was important his administration make available facilities that would help nurture the talents.
This is something that has to do with the youth. And youth unemployment is a major challenge for us. So this will take a bit of youth off the streets. So I'm excited.
It would be recalled that the Oyo State government signed a contractual agreement with Peculiar Ultimate Concerns Limited for the remodeling of Lekan Salami Sports Complex at Damasingba, Ibadan.
September 5th. Guinea's President Alpha Condé is overthrown and detained by an elite military unit in a coup led by a former French legionnaire, Lieutenant Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. September 7th. El Salvador becomes the first country in the world to accept Bitcoin as official currency. Businesses in the country were mandated to accept the digital coins for payment. September 17th. A high court in Ibadan orders the federal government of Nigeria to pay the sum of 20 billion naira to Chief Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, as damages for the invasion of his residence on July 1. October 6. The World Health Organization endorsed the first malaria vaccine. WHO said the historic move would save thousands of children's lives every year across Africa. October 10. The 2021 UEFA Nations League finals was concluded in Italy and won by France. The competition was originally scheduled for the 2nd to the 6th of June 2021, but was moved to October due to the COVID-19 pandemic. October 11, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State swears in 10 commissioners and the President of the State Customary Court of Appeal, Justice Moshood Abbas. The swearing-in took place at the Executive Council Chambers of the Governor's Office, Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. October 22, the Abolongo Custodial Center was attacked. 837 inmates escaped from the facility, but the Interior Ministry said many of the inmates who escaped had been rearrested.
It's a year full of testimonies for BCOS. As a corporate body, we were able to get the best corporation of the year in the state for the 2nd time running back to back. That's glorious. And of course, apart from that, some of our staff also got awards. It's really a glorious year for BCOS.
October 24. 2 members of staff of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Olaboyede Odekunle and Tosin Omolaja, won meritorious awards in acknowledgement of their excellent performance in the year. At the 2021 edition of Mr. and Mrs. Prestige Awards, Olaboyede Odekunle was voted as the most prestigious OAP male, while Tosin Omolaja won the most prestigious OAP female. October 25. President Muhammadu Buhari launches e-Naira at the State House in Abuja. E-Naira is an electronic version of physical Naira, equal in value and issued by the CBN. It is easy to convert into dollars for those making foreign transactions. October 25. The Sudanese military stages a coup against the government and arrested Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok The military takeover attracted condemnations from the United Nations, the United States, and the European Union. On October 29, security operatives raided the residence of Justice Mary Odili in Abuja. The forcemen, consisting of soldiers and officers of the Nigeria Police Force, who identified themselves as members of a joint task force, arrived with a search warrant, saying they received information on illegal activities going on in the house. They were, however, said to have not discovered anything of interest in relation to the alleged illegal activities and left after about an hour. Mrs. Odili is the second most senior judicial officer in Nigeria, being the next in rank to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Muhammad. November. The 1st of November. A high-rise block of luxury flats under construction in the neighborhood of Ikoyi in Lagos, Nigeria, collapsed, killing at least 42 people, while others were critically injured. November 6. A former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Charles Soludo, was elected as governor of Anambra State. Professor Soludo won the gubernatorial election on the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA. On November 15, the Lagos NSAS panel submitted its reports, one on police brutality cases and another on the Lekki incident investigation. The panel listed 9 fatalities from the shooting at the Lekki toll gate on October 20, 2020. The report generated controversies, with many, including the federal government, rejecting the reports. 22nd November. A popular Nollywood actor and comedian, Babatunde Omidina, popularly known as Babasue, died following a protracted illness. He was buried 2 days later in his Ikorodu residence in Lagos. On 26th of November, WHO discovered a new variant of the coronavirus disease named Omicron. The new mutation, which is potentially more transmissible, was first discovered in South Africa and has since been detected in several countries, including Nigeria. December. December 12, Ṣọ̀ún of Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́, Ajagungbade III, Ọba Ọládùnní Oyèwùmí, joined his ancestors at the age of 95. The late monarch, who was the first Ṣọ̀ún to wear a beaded crown, reigned for 48 years. December 12, Oyo State government commenced an independent power project to provide electricity for government facilities within the Oyo State Secretariat, Agodi Ibadan, and its environs. The 11 megawatts hybrid power plant project, being executed by Electron Energy on a build-operate-transfer model, will provide power to government facilities within the Oyo State Secretariat, Agodi Ibadan, and environs. December 12. The Nigerian Football Federation terminated the appointment of the Franco-German Gernot Rau, who had been in charge of the 3-time African champions for the past 64 months and also happens to be Nigeria's longest-serving manager. The NFF appointed Mr. Augustine Egwava in his place. December 16, Governor Makinde flagged off the Oyo Fashola Iseyin Road project in Oyo Town. The governor disclosed that the project will cost 9.9 billion naira. Still in December 16, Argentina and Barcelona forward Sergio Aguero announced his retirement from football at the age of 33 due to her heart condition. Aguero suffered chest pains and dizziness during Barcelona's 1-1 draw with Alaves in October. December 17, the football team of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, popularly known as Akede Bombers, became the champions of five-a-side Swan football competition for the 4th time after thrashing newcomers Agidigbo FM by 4-1.
He said 2 minutes more.
The victorious football team of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Akede Bombers, today within the corporation premises paraded the trophies won in the just concluded Oyo Swan 5-a-side football tournament. The team led by Coach Olalekan Sulaiman visited various offices and departments and were received by members of staff who expressed joy at the feats achieved by the team. Akede Bombers finally presented the trophy to the executive chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Prince Dotun Ojelade, who praised the team for making the corporation proud and thereafter promised the team a cash reward of 250,000 naira.
You went out there and you bumped them.
Yes.
I understand this is the fourth time you are winning this cup.
Yes,
but for certain reasons, this particular victory is sweet. And it shows that it is the beginning of so many things to come from this young lad. It's a privilege to attend one of your games at Wesley. What I saw that day told me that you have a lot of possibilities ahead of you. In a few months' time, the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State TV will be celebrating its 40th anniversary. We will organize quite a number of things. We will make sure that you are part of the game. Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní ọ̀pọ̀rọ̀ kágbọ̀n. Ṣùgbọ́n kò bá yà wá lẹ́nu díẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá gba ife ìwásílẹ̀ akéde. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀dùn wa nú ẹ̀dẹ̀mórí wa wú ẹgbẹ́ ife ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin kọ́ win ẹ̀ nígbàgbà inú wa dùn nítorí ìdí èyí a gbọ́ pé mínísítà wa níjẹ̀ló ó dẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa ó fún ẹni tó bá win ẹni tó bá borí wọn làwọn fún ní 200,000 ṣùgbọ́n àwa wá fi nǹkan lé wípé 250,000.
Akede Bombers won all its games at the Swan 5-a-side tournament and trashed Agidigbo FM by 4-1 in the final game.
December 20, Oyo State carted home 4 awards at the Digital Technology Awards, organized by the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy. They are award for overall Best States in Digital Technology Development, Best State in Digital Technology Infrastructural Development, Runner-up in E-Government Implementation, and Best State in Digital Technology in Human Capital Development. December 26. South Africa's anti-apartheid activist and Christian cleric Archbishop Desmond Tutu died in Cape Town at the age of 90. The Archbishop Emeritus, who was an outspoken critic of the apartheid regime in South Africa, was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1984 for his non-violent stance. December 29. NFF announced a 61-year-old Portuguese, José Peseiro, as the new foreign manager for the Super Eagles. Peseiro will resume work after AFCON 2021 but will accompany the Eagles to the competition in Cameroon as an observer. The expectations of people is that the new year will be better for all.
For the year 2022, we are moving on. We want to be able to consolidate on all the awards and all the things that we know we did this year. Particularly want to improve our social media presence. People will be listening to us, hearing us all over the world. We are working hard to ensure that.
Happy New Year.